Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. We are Team 1 of Accounting Information System Class A. Today we would like to present our article review by the title Big Data and Algorithmic Trading Against Periodic and Tangible Asset Reporting, The Need for U-XBRL. It's written by Duopay, Michael A. Bazar-Helgi. Before we start our explanation, we would like to introduce our members. The first one is Firly Adrian Pratama with number 121. The second is Satya Kirana Chandra with number 125. And the third is Salsabila Kirana with number 128.
So before we start our review, we will explain about the journal. The authors of this journal is Miklaus A. Bazar-Helgi, and the journal name is Big Data and Algorithmic Trading Against Periodic and Tangible Asset Reporting, The Need for U-XBRL. This journal have 37 volumes and have 16 peaks, and this journal is accepted in 22 March 2020. After that, we will explain the reviewer of this journal. We are student college of UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. The first is me, Firly Adrian Pratama, and the second is Satya Kirana Chandra, and the third is Salsabila Kirana. We review this journal at 3 October 2021. So the first one is we will introduction about this journal. This journal has a background that an accounting information system is used to provide information to investor of a firm. Because GAAP make a more simple in definition of accounting information system, it make a consequence, and the consequence is over the last few decades the relationship between market valuation and traditional financial information has become sustainably weaker. The root of these issues in accounting is the inability of anarchistic standards and periodic reporting to keep pace with the multitude of data available to the market. Some problem is GAAP not considered the incorporation of big data types of variables. So the big data variables is like mobility data, weather, sales, economic, social media, locational data, internet of things. It's like exogenous data. This variable in GAAP is not considered. Unfortunately, these are not current standard on how to incorporate external data source like mobility data, weather, sales, that incorporates external data source into the accounting system, as the GAAP is focused on ERP based internal data. This paper uses a research-based view of firms to categorize information in an accounting system. After we know about the background of this paper, we must know in simple about XBRL and U-XBRL. To operationalize an accounting information system of this nature, XBRL is used. So what is XBRL or U-XBRL? XBRL is taking structure links data element to resource We hereafter refer to this new system as U-XBRL or user XBRL. And this journal have a purpose that you want to make sure that U-XBRL can provide a facility to make more easier the stakeholder get more complex and accurate information in efficient time. And to explain that U-XBRL is naturally support hierarchies and U-XBRL is machine readable, and to explain that U-XBRL system focuses not only financial information but also encompasses a wide set of inputs. These inputs include operational, ESG like environmental, social governance, market variable, and big data information. The next is we will explain about the definition of the accounting information system, inputs, and users. It's so important because it is a basic. So what is definition of the accounting information system? Accounting information system is being to gather input, direct inquiry, and support analysis. These activities assist the stakeholder in forming his or her belief about the firm's current state and future returns. So next is we will talking about the data, that what condition data in the world. Title is the changing world of unstructured and the semi-structured data. U-XBRL, on the other hand, achieve greater integration between non-key AAP source of information and financial measures. Non-governmental groups such as the SESB, Sustainability Accounting Standard Board, and ERRC, International Integrated Reporting Committee, have attempted to add dimension of non-financial information into their financial reporting frameworks. SESB has added detailed and specialized metric for each industry. It looks like in figure 2 that universe of sustainability issues is there are environmental, social capital, human capital, business model, and innovation, leadership, and governance. These include factors such as intellectual property, data privacy in the software industry, integrity, and sponsorships. Not only of financial data, change in the fundamental information set of decision makers in today's market make relevant the need for higher quality financial reporting paradigm. To supplement this information set, there need to be better measures of representing financial information. After we talk the data, we will talk about the users of accounting information system. The advancement of technology has resulted in information arrival at a faster speed and lower cost. Retail investor will benefit from reduced information search costs or an expanded menu of items to search, as more relevant measures will be available in a currentized location, and essential analysis is offered by built-in decision support system. So the accounting information system users is a stakeholder who want like this description.
The next section is about a more value-relevant reporting paradigm. In this section, I will explain about conceptual model and the implementation model as XBRL. The first is conceptual model. As in the observation detailed in the prior section, an accounting information system for the future needs to accept many input sources and provide custom-made views for many different users. Since each view is different, input source must be organized in a coherent structure where they can be picked and selected at will. The hierarchy structure chosen in this paper is grouped by strategic resource. The second is big data in the resource-based view model. Big data in the resource-based view model, it's important to note that external sources of data including big data are not strategic resource. Instead, they are refined measurement of resource. Market value also a type of measurement and is the only type used in the current GAAP. However, big data can produce different type of measurement. The third is conceptual model implemented as XBRL. XBRL is used to operationalize the resource-based model of organizing data input. XBRL was created to overlay atop GAAP standard. XBRL allows multiple levels of aggregation and disaggregation. XBRL's capabilities to support reporting paradigms such as sustainability also been well documented by the association. The next section is U-XBRL, the system. The U-XBRL is a data processing system designed to address the current demands of information users. Named the system U-XBRL as it is primarily an XBRL system created to satisfy the user. Its function enhances flexibility for the end user. U-XBRL presents data coherently through a hierarchical resource-based structure that also supports granularity. In the following subsection, I'll explain how the resource-based model is manifest through an XBRL schema. Subsection 4, Operationalizing U-XBRL, Data Input and Structuring. So the picture is postulate in the future the big data environment provide a continuous flow of data that is typically unstructured. This data can be in many forms such as numerical, textual, voice, image, and other forms of digital and analog utterance. It is organizationally captured predominantly through two major stages. The first stage structures the data for usage, and the second stage selects the feature of the format data available in relation to the application needs, or data standard layers. And then data are placed on a pre-established set of containers used by a wide group of applications. An instance of this architecture could be an application linked to a commercial entity that collects a large set of news articles. And in this stage, text from this commercial source are continuously extracted based on semantic rules. Containers could be visualized as representing a group of texts as resource, type of data, or accounting data standard. External information present context and comparability to manage disclosure. But at the core, information originating from the frame is indispensable. As external information enters U-XBRL, there is also a mirror system which is extract company information from ERP. Subsection Operationalizing U-XBRL Standardization. At this stage, the data content gains attribution to resource. Before analyzing can be complete, external and internal data are cleaned. U-XBRL implies the use of a sectorial data standard, example, the audit data standard or AIS, to codify company data to workable format. The AIGPA proposed ADS is a suitable candidate to not only because it has built-in integration with the XBRL taxonomy, but also because of its comprehensiveness in codifying audit-relevant organizational activities. The ADS includes many activities in the value creation cycle of a business, such as inventory, order to cash, and the general ledger. As a result of its wide applicability with accounting and assurance function, the audit data standard is used as the data standard example throughout this paper. The U-XBRL system support cross-referencing between external and internal data source, creating an interconnected web of information conducive to understanding both the business and the environment which it operates. Subsection Operationalizing U-XBR information presentation. After aggregating all the information, the only interface where the user interacts directly with the output is in the application layer. As mentioned in the SEC publication, XBRL support highly interactive data which help investors understand business implications of the information faster and reduce their search costs. U-XBRL is the way for real-time presentation of information. U-XBRL is linked to the information input on a continual basis and feeds arrive by the second. Not all items can be reported on a real-time basis though, particularly for internal data because of litigation, competition, and security concern. In addition, the goal of real-time sharing is to allow users to act on the information before it becomes stale. In static financial document, reader often cannot assess the full impact of business decision until the event is in the final state of progression. A merger, the impact of drilling, new initiative, or new research and development are all impactful events that may only be reported at year-end. By tracking events in real time, information user can formulate expectations on future cash flow associated with an investment as the event is still unfolding. For example, by reviewing how per store sales and on-store sales track with respect to peer introduction of water reduction program, the firm and its investor can evaluate whether its sustainability program add value. This functionality is facilitated by U-XBRL system, which link internal and external data together with text.
The next subsection is about data integrity. Before we put in the data, there are two aspects of data integrity that need to be addressed for the quality of its inputs. The first one is ensuring authenticity. The data and its tags cannot have unauthorized modifications from the time it is created until it enters the system. For traditional types of tags, data collected through ERPS, the process is already well defined by the standard practices in use on internal controls. For new types of data such as IoT, voice, or video, compromise of data is prevented through segregation of duties and multi-factor authentication. The second one is the quality and accuracy of the data. So, in the summary, a company with U-XBRL has an expanded set of data from which information could be extracted. The selection of the subset of data to be included in U-XBRL can be determined by the user or the other groups if they are better able to serve the user's interests. After we know about the data integrity, the next subsection is about what U-XBRL can do. So actually, U-XBRL brings structure to all elements of a widened corporate measurement and assurance network. It coherently extracts exogenous big data and places it in a databases with a set of data standards. Among its features, it may present non-traditional information from exogenous data sources in line using XBRL with traditional financial information in the same viewing plane. The next section is about U-XBRL's contributions to financial reporting and assurance. U-XBRL is an accounting information system that helps users gather, process, analyze information. On the subsections below, I'm going to explain about U-XBRL strength, a support system for continuous reporting and continuous assurance, and capability to link continuous reporting and continuous assurance. The first subsection is about output as modules. So Gargano 2018 and Deadlock 2008 said that information on the stage is increasingly driven by user demand, not what the company is willing to divulge. On the other hand, technology has expanded the base of information available. As a result, financial reporting should shift from a timed output approach to an on-demand approach. Day 2017 said that modular strategy for dealing with financial data is increasingly important. The existence of U-XBRL supports modular strategy by transmitting the standardized data to its supporting applications because in nature, these applications are diverse and facilitate a variety of analyses. The next subsection is about continuous reporting and continuous assurance. Zaharhali has explained that the real-time economy is emerging where there is a major price for information timeliness. It causes organizations to operate more efficient and competitive. They must not only create realistic models of data behavior or MOD, but must compare this data to timely measures of actual performance. This comparison helps detection of variations in expectations or delta, and this variance will be assessed as acceptable or excessive. Zaharhali also adds statement that the adoption of U-XBRL brings natural synergies and enhance the audit by exceptions approach. How the U-XBRL works? Before we jump into the answer, we have to know that Lidley and Costello 2009 has explained that the processes of continuous audit and continuous monitoring is that the first is performed by auditors and the second is performed by management. The continuous processing and analysis of data in U-XBRL support both parties. U-XBRL doing its job by retains information and the tag characteristics of information up until the user interface. The tags can be transmitted back to an analysis container. There, management and auditors have statistics on the type of information used and frequency with which it was viewed. So there will be a constant feedback loop between monitoring and auditing. The next subsection, 5.3, is about an ecosystem of corporate measurement and assurance. So, these days, technology has evolved and creates complex automated systems that are substantially human independent for their mainstream operation. But in fact, the selection of inputs, organization into a resource hierarchy, creation of tagging standards, and selection of output views cannot be completed without human intervention. Because of this, U-XBRL is needed. The interaction between automatization levels and sentience levels is at the core of U-XBRL. Finally, we have arrived in conclusion. So, the proposed U-XBRL schema attempts to address financial reporting issues that prevent consumers from acquiring the financial information they need for decision making. U-XBRL supports time immediacy, diversification, and at the same time reducing information overload through real-time reporting of data, as well as tagging structure that defines each resource and connects elements together. XBRL helps divide information in the language of business, and users can continue to query the system in response to what XBRL has defined by following the tags. This is the end of our presentation about article review. We hope it might give us some insightful information. I'd like to thank you for your interest and attention to our presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.